moment when everything changed. When we were on our way to the courtroom, I did not know the storm was coming on that day. I thought I had at least one more day before I was taken from my family, like being caught in a tornado. I had all of the signs that a storm was coming. I was told it was coming. I knew it was a 95% chance of a storm, and I saw everyone preparing and getting ready. I just held on to that 5% chance that a storm wasn't happening on this day either. Because I was told this 3 times before and it was delayed each time. So what's one more time? When I stepped into the courtroom with my family, the room felt dark and gloomy. And when my co-defendant went up in front of the judge and was sentenced to 2 years in Ohio's reformatory for women, it was like the thunder roared. And then when it was my turn to step in front of the judge, I could barely speak through the tears. And when the judge sentenced me to serve 1 year in prison in Ohio's reformatory for women, that was the storm or tornado. Weathering that storm took a lot. My husband had to secure our belongings and our children so they didn't get swept up in the storm too. The storm was very heavy for about 6 months. Then it slowed down and it turned into something else new. But we are stronger now. I have adjusted. I am still changing, and I thank God for it.
Shattering loss is a trauma that will often result in re-experiencing former losses.
Our past trauma compounding on our present trauma.
Emotional pain felt so profoundly that our physical hearts ache.
We feel shattered and entirely separate from all others, alone and apart from everyone in our suffering.
Our brains store emotional memories that may even include our hurt.
Prior traumatic experiences are stored in our emotional memory, even if we can't remember the facts. And we can feel these feelings every time with every subsequent trauma.
In order to heal, we must find community, where healing only happens through our acceptance of interconnectedness.
When we experience trauma, stress hormones pour through our bodies, and we can react to shock, disorientation, disassociation, self-harm, and rage.
What would God have you do? Hear me. Stop and wait for my words. You have been traveling down the wrong path. Use me to guide you. You must trust me. You are made for a purpose. Stop where you are, and on my word, proceed with caution. Walk in my direction toward the light. And at the light, turn right. And there I will be waiting for you with open arms, my sweet child. There is nothing too big for me. I see your heart. Think long and hard about what your next turn will be. Leave everything that has not worked in the past and walk towards the future. Hear me loud and clear when I say,
Henry,
I love you.
I love you. I am proud of the man you're becoming, and I am by your side at all times. My mission for you is love, joy, happiness, I am in your smile. I am proud of the joy you strive to spread. Your forgiveness knows no bounds. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. Sincerely, your father. A little boy, trapped inside a man's body.
Change and trust is hard. Sometimes I miss the old man.
I still went willingly, but I had forgotten the path that I set for myself. I can hear the birds in the trees. I feel skint knees on the pavement and tears being wiped by my mother's hands. I'm stuck here, beyond the light, beyond the potholes, but I keep moving.
Processing loss, you have to allow yourself to sit in and feel the pain in order to move on and move past it.
Hope offers peace and comfort in times of distress and fear.
How did I mistake yellow for gold?
No one said I had choices. Who said there was a right and a wrong path? Here I am at the beginning of this road, lost, not knowing which way to go. I thought this highlighted path was the one, so I took it. I found that road to be much like a scenic route. And man, the scenery looked lovely. Many parties, many late nights. I hit the refill. I smoked a cigarette. I must be in the in crowd now. I drank the beer. It didn't matter. I go to school. I get good grades. I do my thing. Until I don't. No, this is not what my life is supposed to look like. I wonder how I got lost. I'm stuck here. But I still see light beyond the potholes, so I must keep going. Who cares when it really matters? Nobody. I have to keep going to get to that road that's waiting paved in gold. I don't know how I got here. How did I mistake yellow for gold?
I thought I had my class planned. I was going to go to college and become a doctor. That was the plan. Major in biology, learn humanities, study for, stress about, and pass the MCAT, go to med school, complete residency, graduate, and become a doctor. There was this detour that popped up. I still went willingly. But now that I'm in the middle of this new path, I wouldn't change it. But here comes the hill.
A new path opened up for me. All year I've been meeting new people and starting all over. It's hard. It's a new path with new surroundings.
I'm from St. Louis, about 5.5 hours from Dayton. And upon arriving here, I didn't know anyone, nor have I been to Ohio. Being here and away from friends and family was tough. I expected it to be.
This new path is unfamiliar and has brought me farther away from my family and friends in distance. I hope to make the friends I had envisioned, even if they are down a different path than my old ones.
What I didn't expect was the whole trajectory of my life to change. I went from familiar faces to introducing myself to everyone I encountered. From living with family to living with a person I never met before. And from playing a sport that I love since 6th grade to not making the football team. Everything changed. I never really liked change.
Change is hard. Trusting new people and places is hard. Sometimes I miss the old path.
And through these changes, it changed me. It caused me to face a lot of my insecurities, inner demons, and anxieties. I attempted to make friends and adjust to this new life, but things still weren't feeling right. I still struggled through my attempts at being resilient. Until I met my friend Parrish. He reminded me of friends that I met back at home, based off the way we joked about things and our similar taste in music and films. Through him, I met other friends that I'm still friends with to this day, and helped me establish a small but stable community. I owe it to myself to learn from the lessons life has given me, and allowing it to change me as a person. Anything that isn't growing is dead.
I think of the joys, of the green, of the grass, the birds and the trees. Trying not to, but getting stung by bees. Skin knees on the pavement, and salty tears wiped by my mama's hand. Chasing each other along the wooded paths, not a care in this world, laughing and screaming till our lungs were raw and our bellies ached. I wish I could spend more time with her.
And at the intersection of all our paths, it's like, well, what do we owe one another? See, well, that's like, well, what does the bee owe to the flower? You know? Like, what do the plants owe to our lungs, right? Like, what we owe one another is as the flame owes the candle, or the wind, the sail. Even they respond with dancing flame tributes and whistling songs of breeze and warmth. Only a phantom would answer nothing. Just an eerie supernatural silence, that cold shoulder to the common good that accompanies an abandoned shopping cart. One must be a myth, a parable of some sort, a moral to our existence. Do not think one lives here alone. Remember who built the world you were born into, ready to use and batteries included. I know I owe some apologies, some respect, owe some truth, owe dues, owe down till death do us part, bought a vow, and now AE and I owe you one, more than once. And maybe we think, well, what do we owe one another for? An act of kindness? A smile? A gift that only one is qualified to give, a voice containing concern and compassion capable of curing a bad day. I mean, what exactly is the price for that? Do we owe one another in payment or principle? What qualifies as currency in exchange for eternity? Does one even have change for infinity? For something priceless? How could I possibly pay it back? Or maybe we pay it forward. And what we owe one another is what we owe our ancestors, what they owe theirs. We owe our lineage and our lives. We owe what life owes to the bodies of water. We owe our bodies, but they shall not be polluted. We owe what water owes to the earth. We owe different versions of ourselves as we transform through cycles. We owe what the earth owes to the sun. We owe the earth. We owe what the sun owes to space. We owe our light and our energy. We owe what space owes to the Big Bang. We owe space enough to create our own universe. We owe what the Big Bang owes to God. We owe all the space and time and existence to exist, expand, explore, evolve. Everyone is owed the joy of being alive, of being beloved, of being ourselves. We owe ourselves. We owe as much as we can afford to give in this moment. We owe concern enough to ask, what happened to you, Sharika?
Love is action to a child. And as a child, I loved the love that my mom poured into our home. When her and I and my little sister would sit at home and we would decorate the Christmas tree, even if it was the Christmas Eve. That was love that we sat down and did together. And now as an adult, I pour that love into my own children and into my own home. And I thank my mom for it. Amelia, what happened to you?
Love is action to a child. This scene represents evening dinners with me and my family that we have every night until my sister and I left for college. Every night we come together at the end of the day and just talk about what had happened to us, how we felt that day, and everything in between. I just remember sitting on the end and feeling, no matter what I said, that everybody listened to me, and that feeling of just being loved by everybody around. Anna, what happened to you?
This is an average Saturday in the life growing up in South Florida. Both of my siblings are pretty medically complicated with their own sets of diagnoses and things, so Saturdays were doctor days. We'd all load up into our 2008 Hyundai minivan and go to psychologist after nutritionist, after acupuncturist, after rheumatologist, and I was there. And I love my siblings, and I love my parents. But I won't pretend that it was easy to grow up feeling alone.
I've been caught in many storms. I don't know if I actually made it through. Kind of just lay low, let the winds blow over. When I was locked on that mini range, with 5 other women for 3 months, I thought I would go crazy. Reading helped and writing took my mind off of things, but I still felt helpless and caged, forgotten. So I wrote to the judge and I let him know how I was feeling. Now, I don't know if it was compassion or Montgomery County Jail just not wanting another inmate death on their hands. But a few days later, I went to the Monday. Had it not been for the constant accountability being held, visits from my mom, time out in the community working, I was able to make it out. If it weren't for people at the reentry program giving enough of a damn to talk to me, spark life into me, well, hell, I don't know if I would have weathered the storm or if the storm would have swallowed me.
Icy hospital trips, darkened rooms, an IV drip in my arm. I was miserable, but I didn't let that stop me. I put on my sunglasses, I plugged my ears, and I kept moving.
It hurts when someone tells you the person you've strived to become for years isn't good enough, isn't what they want, isn't right, isn't normal. I've always believed that a hi or a how are you can go the shortest but the most meaningful distance in creating meaning in our lives and creating genuine connections.
I was told that my friends and my family didn't care about me, and I was intentionally isolated from them. Eventually, the relationship ended, and I felt like I had abandoned my friends. But they had missed me. I mean, they told me that they were even planning an intervention for me. Ending that relationship showed me just how much resilience I had.
Usually, there are signs when a storm comes. I track the temperature, I assess the atmosphere, and I weigh the wind. I can always tell when a storm is coming. I am wary with my words, careful with my character. I tiptoe around the triggers and I mute the memories. The sun may shine, but a storm is calling. The cold cannot exist with the warm. One cannot put up a front around me, because when the pain drops start to fall, I will bear it with you. I know it because I've been through it. I don't run, I chase it. I don't shelter in place.
Lord's our rock, in him we hide, shelter in the time of storm. Secure whatever ill betide, shelter in the time of storm. Oh, Jesus is a rock in a weary land, a weary land, a weary land. Oh, Jesus is a rock in a weary land, shelter in the time of storm. A shade by day, defense by night, a shelter in the time of storm. Fears alarm, no foes affright, the shelter in the time of storm. Oh, Jesus is a rock in a weary land, a weary land, a weary land. Oh, Jesus is a rock in a weary land, a shelter in the time of storm. Oh, rock divine, oh, refuge here, shelter in the time of storm. Be thy helper ever near, shelter in the time of storm. Oh, Jesus is a rock in a weary land, a weary land, a weary land. Oh, Jesus is a rock in a weary land, shelter in the time of storm. Oh, Jesus is a rock in a weary land, oh, weary land, a weary land. Jesus is a rock in a weary land, shelter in the time of storm.
Stress hormones released during traumatic events affect our memory.
It can go one of two ways. Your hippocampus doesn't store the memories of the event because stress hormones repress that function temporarily.
Or your hippocampus overfunctions and remembers every detail till the seconds feel like minutes. Our memories can be suppressed or imprinted by traumatic events.
Either way, the amygdala remembers the emotions of the event.
You hold on to those emotions sustained during shipwreck, and your heart feels broken.
Because it's familiar to feel the heartbreak.
Because we feel that we're not worthy to feel anything but wreckage.
Hope. There's hope for our healing when we embrace growth and change.
I went astray. Left my Catholic faith numerous times. Because being a queer Latina woman in the church is an experience. My queerness is not an excuse for leaving the church, but the reactions of others is an explanation. My queerness did not lead me astray, but a lack of welcome and compassion did. So yeah, I lost my way. In the midst of the 99, it was like I was the one lost sheep. And it felt like there was nobody who would just reach out to me. Other spaces and other faiths welcomed me with open arms, sure. But it wasn't quite the same. Here, some kind shepherd saw my little sheep self, and they opened their flock to me. This flock that I found here at UD is the only reason that I'm still Catholic. Because somebody was willing to leave the 99 for me.
I don't know what happened to me. How did I get here in this unfamiliar place? I'm lost. And I have been for about 17 years now. I wonder, has anyone ever thought to look for me? Send out a search party? Shine the light from the lighthouse? If they did, would I run toward them with the light? Why was I so easy to lead astray? Curse myself. Trying to blame everybody but me, when clearly I am the problem. Why can't I change my thinking? I'm running out of oxygen at a dead-end road. I don't know which way to go. My chest is getting tight. Tears pour from my heart uncontrollably. I just want my son to be better than me.
I couldn't stop thinking about all I had lost, all the lasts. When I think about this time, I can still feel the barbed wire on my throat, trying my best not to cry. And years later, it still feels recent. I sit in my feelings for a long time. I feel things so deeply. Because good things feel so good, and bad things feel so bad. I understand both feelings of forgiveness. I've been on both sides, struggling with holding on to those feelings and desperately waiting for forgiveness. So I wonder if I could feel forgiveness as deeply, if I could pour those feelings somewhere other than grief. Forgiveness is giving up the hope that the past could have been any different.
I disagree. Forgiveness is recognizing that things could have and should have gone differently, and still moving forward. We do not always need to transform our trauma into power. My faith calls me to forgive as Christ did. And Christ forgave, even when things could have and should have gone differently. We forgive, often hoping and dreaming that what should have happened will happen somehow in the future. My trauma has empowered me, but it is not my power. I am the source of my power. fully healed scar can burn from time to time.
Forgive and forget? Well, let's forget and forget. I am blessed to easily forget the iniquities and wrongs of the past, the slights, and thises of yesterday. And even though I can't remember the inciting incident, the event of pain, the cause of injury, my heart remembers. I want to let go. I want to move on. But how can someone let go of something when they can't even remember what they're holding on to anymore? It's stuck in a perpetual state of tug of war. Where is all this coming from?
After getting through the thick of the storm of me being in prison, I was facing another storm. But after one counseling session, I learned that I was crying all the time because I was grieving. Like someone grieves the loss of a loved one. I was grieving the loss of my old life as I knew it. I had to let go of that and find a new path.
As we evolve into a more healed version of ourselves, supported by our community to create new pathways, we can find new ways to calm our nervous system and create memories of healing and safety through activities that require rhythm.
The rhythm of breath, the rhythm of walking in nature, the rhythm of music and dancing, the rhythm of swaying a baby.
When we recover our rhythm through positive connectivity in community, we allow ourselves to heal from trauma at our own pace.
We revisit the shipwreck by choice to recover pieces of ourselves to heal.
Methodically lifting each piece one by one to love and light.
Honoring our feelings and our past selves, caring for and restoring all those little pieces until we are once again whole.
And through neuroplasticity, our brains are able to reorganize, rewire, change, and grow. We are able to find that new path.
Think on it. When have you felt grace? Could I have 4 common good players step up? For this long-form story, we have an experience of grace.
My baby's back. My baby's back.
Thank you. All right, Joel, so you just got a little taste of some of our process in devising this original work you saw. This was playback theater. It has roots in psychodrama and can be very therapeutic and healing and fun to do improv with your community. So if you want to see more of that, Common Good Players will continue doing playback theater in the fall. We're going to be going to the men's shelter in April, and we will continue as the Common Good Playback Theater Troupe coming at you in your community soon.